talked about the appetite center before, or maybe we're talking about it the first time, depending on where I put this module. And I wanted to just go through the brain so that you can see where these appetite centers are, this is where the genetics encodes the appetite center. And so first is to say that we have a homeostatic system of the brain, and that's located in this hypothalamus. And that's where a set of neurons are sensing our energy intake. And do you want to hear about what they're called? Okay, I will. So one's called POMC, and the other set is called AGRP. And POMC, if it gets enough of a hormone communication, it is sensing that the body has enough energy, and then it sends a signal to another part of the brain to say things are good, you can attend to all kinds of other stuff, don't worry about seeking out food, build your house, or run from whatever. But if AGRP is higher than POMC, AGRP sends a signal to the brain that says it's time to go find some caloric intake. And that sets in motion our motivation and our learning and our attention. And we then want to seek caloric intake. And that's through the mesolimbic system. This is partly an emotional center that has to do with wanting. Another one would be desire, but wanting is probably the best word. And so we want food, we want caloric intake, we might prepare our food, or if we're wanting food and we don't have something prepared, we're going to look for the easiest thing at hand, like for me, probably goldfish, maybe Oreos if they're around. And then the brain learns from there. And so those that have the condition of obesity or disease of obesity, we know that certain ultra-processed foods, the high sugar, high fat, will light up a whole bunch of areas of the brain center more than those that are prone to leanness. And this leads to increased wanting and motivation for certain types of food in our food environment. Explaining quite a bit about why there's increased intake for some that are prone to gaining weight. And so that's kind of that. And then the third part of the brain is the executive system, kind of more in the frontal lobe, the lazy executive, and that's where we can focus on the tools of behavior change, whether that be shifting our habits in terms of nutrition, movement, sleep, and integrating that into the context of our life. But how to insert these healthy habits and refrain from the habits that we want to refrain from, that's kind of the holy grail and one of the more challenging aspects of living life. Now, again, we have other tools at hand, so medications affect that mesolimbic and homeostatic system, decrease the wanting and the reward pathway, and allow our executive function more freedom to do the things that we want to do sometimes. So medications can kind of augment that path to best weight and the weight loss journey by lowering some of these barriers and making life feel more natural. We know if we've successfully treated the disease of obesity that's located in the deep brain, that life is more easy, that hunger isn't there as much. And so many times I've heard, for the first time in my life, I felt hunger. I felt full. I didn't know what full meant. Or for the first time in my life, I've just left things on my plate. 25% of the food I haven't taken. And then they understand why somebody else might leave several bites of cake. It's not that person had increased willpower. They just got a really powerful signal from the body that enough is enough, and they just couldn't put another bite in. They don't have higher willpower or discipline. They're just responding to a different biology, both in the body, but also a different brain circuitry. So sometimes these medications, if we get the right one, affect that part of the brain and make life a bit easier. So